Did an investor leave you hanging again? Happens all the time, sadly. And what's also sad is this isn't the first time I made a video like this, and I'm going to continue to make videos like this. Hey guys, I'm Brad with probateresource.com. We're a real estate solutions company specializing in the world of probate and inheritance properties. We're based out of Metro Atlanta, but we actually not only buy houses here in Georgia, but we buy all over the place. We buy houses, property, anything estate related. We've been through the drill. We know probate and inheritance, very well versed in that. So, were you under contract with an investor? Maybe it was an offer you got over the phone, or maybe it was somebody you reached out to online and you went under contract and they promised you all these things in the world, and then last minute, they pulled the rug right out from under you, right? Sadly, you're not alone. It happens all the time. And sadly, there's a lot of dirtbags in our industry that think that that's an okay way to do business. And I just grinds my gears in the words of Peter Griffin, if you're a Family Guy reference there. It happens all the time. Just the other day, we had another instance where a seller reaches out to us. They had been under contract with another investor. This investor was jerking them around, making all this stuff up, BS. Finally, last minute, the investor terminates the contract, or first of all, it doesn't terminate the contract, asks them to renegotiate the contract for a significantly less amount of money. And then the seller's like, no way, get out of here. I'm not doing that. So what happened to the seller? Well, they terminated the contract, right? And the seller, obviously, because I'm making this video, reached out to us because they had been in communication with us, but they didn't really necessarily like our offer because the other investor offered them so much more money for the property than we offered. Well, guess what? When the investor went back to renegotiate them on the offer, they offered them way less money than we offered them. So if they had just gone with our offer to begin with, they probably would have already closed on the property because this particular investor put some crazy, ridiculous timeline on a closing and put some crazy, ridiculous due diligence period where they needed like 30 days of due diligence. Like, get out of here, man, with that crap. And anyways, they probably would have already closed and had money in their pocket had they gone with our offer. Because one of the things I try to do is I try to break the mold as an industry, and I try to just surprisingly be an honest person and do what I say I'm going to do. Imagine that, right? In this day and age, people do what they say they're going to do. And I try to pride our company and what we do on doing the right thing and doing what we say we're going to do. So if we say we're going to buy your house for X, we're going to buy your house for X. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have a due diligence. We do have due diligence in our contract. And it allows us an amount of time to resolve things. But if you are concerned about the due diligence period and you'd like to discuss that with us, maybe shorten it, maybe make it even 0, I'd be happy to discuss that with you. I just need to, in those cases, if I'm doing a 0 due diligence, I personally, me as the owner of the company, I need to go walk through the house and see it and understand the condition and make you an offer. A great example, the other day, there's a package property of an estate that we were making an offer on, and they had ultimately then decided to hire a real estate agent to sell these properties for them, even though they had already been in talks with us already. So now I said, well, hey, I need to go through your agent now because you have an agent. I actually know their agent. And I called her up and I said, hey, they want me to check out these properties. Can you give me the lockbox code? I went and looked at them and I said, once I was done, literally I got back home. I said, I'll call you back within an hour with my numbers. I ran back home. There was 2 different properties there. And I said, hey, here's my offers. 0 due diligence. I'll close in as soon as title comes back. 7 days, 10 days, whatever. I'll close as quickly as possible, completely as is, 0 due diligence. And she said, well, that sounds good, but honestly, the seller wants to make a little bit more money than that. But that was a really strong offer. And what was strong about my offer? 0 due diligence. That means I have personally stepped foot and walked through these properties today, and I am okay buying that deal at the number that I told you I'm buying it at. And I will not back out of that deal. And I'll even put up X amount of earnest money to show you that I'm serious about that deal. A lot of these fly-by-night investors either don't put up any earnest money at all, or they put up a very, very small pittance of earnest money, like $100 or $50 or something silly, right? Earnest money is not required for a legal contract here in the state of Georgia. In some states it is, but here in Georgia, it's not required. But some of them will just put down some little pittance of an earnest money, or they won't put any earnest money at all. They'll put some crazy long due diligence period, drag it out forever. And what happens to you as a seller? Well, you terminate but you're back to square one. You just wasted 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of your time with this investor who jerked you around, made you a great offer, but ultimately that great offer ended up not panning out, and now you're back to the drawing board again. So I'm making this video today just to educate people, to say, make sure you understand who you're dealing with, make sure you're signing a contract with a legitimate company, make sure you're reading their contract, make sure that it makes sense to you. If you have questions about it, make sure they're fulfilling their end of the contract, and just proceed with caution. If you get a weird feeling about the company, don't do business with them. There's plenty of other people out there to purchase your property. You don't have to do business with this person. And if they've got really, really high pressure sales tactics and they start making threats to you, some of these companies, these guys, they'll make threats to people. And I'm like, get out of here, man. You're the reason people get sued in this industry. Stop it. Like, just be a good person, right? So anyways, this is my public service announcement. I do these videos quite frequently, and I'm gonna keep making those videos because I see this happen day in and day out. I've been in this business for a number of years, and I see these quote unquote investors. A lot of them are new guys and have no idea what they're doing, and they're literally just jerking people around and wasting people's time. So proceed with caution. If you wanna do business with an honest company, we'd love to make you an offer on your property, not just here in Georgia, but I have strategic investor partners all over the country that I specifically partner with in different markets, so that I do have a boots on the ground face in that market that's sort of an extension of me, right? So if you have a property that you want to sell, that you've inherited, we'd be happy to talk to you about it. Click on the link below. It'll take you to our website. You can either fill out the form on our website, or you can pick up the phone and call us. We'd be happy to talk to you about your property. Thanks again for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.